The Winx Club franchise is kind of a mess.
Aisha, Fairy of Waves. You'll see my name on the food in the fridge.
What began as a unique coming-of-age story for older kids and teens, unabashedly feminine and fabulous with pretty solid character writing and overarching stories, eventually devolved into a glorified doll commercial that literally moved to toddler-centric channels like Nick Jr. and Rai Yo-Yo.
Magic Winx!
One eternity later.
Magic Winx, Butterflicks!
The first 3 seasons, concluding with the first theatrical film, told a conclusive story regarding the origins of the main character Bloom. Season 4, departing to tell its own story, saw the Winx becoming young adults and leaving Alfea, the fairy college they had attended since season 1. But it was rife with its own messy writing choices, stemming from a need to move merchandise above all else, and also not knowing how to write these girls aside from romantic melodrama and killing their fiancés. Following this, Rainbow would partner with Viacom, the owners of Nickelodeon, to co-produce new seasons to expand Winx Club's reach in English-speaking markets. Unfortunately, with this change came a change in writing staff, and consequently, direction. The Winx were sent back to Alfea, quietly reset to 16, and were to be kept that way for eternity, at the whims of Blue's Clues and Backyardigans writers, to battle whatever new random enemy fit the new season's gimmick, be it the sea, fairy tales, animal rescue, or stars.
I've never seen so much garbage. It's perfect!
To try and appease older fans who felt dismissed by this soft reboot approach, Rainbow decided to create a Netflix original spin-off meant for them, World of Winx. After season 7 aired in 2015, arguably the most kiddified season outside of 8's art style,
You stupid banana!
World of Winx was released in 2016, the beginning of the end, and it did not last very long. Only after 2 13-episode seasons and an embarrassingly open cliffhanger, Netflix did what they do best: kill a show in its crib.
Shiver, Bloom. Because the day of reckoning is near.
Though I would imagine this show wasn't doing particularly well, casual fans and those unfamiliar with Winx Club would probably be too confused to bother with it, and while diehard fans might have been interested, they'd probably be more annoyed by its mere existence than anything else. Basically, World of Winx is its own beast. Though the Winx Club are already formed here, and are acting like they've been saving the world for a while, they aren't in the magic dimension at all. They're living on Earth now with a specific mission, but make no references to their homeworlds or to Alfea, nor any members of the cast like the Specialists or Farragonda. Roxy is here though, for some reason.
We want to thank Roxy for hosting this exciting event. We're thrilled to be part. Now let's go backstage to meet our star.
The day of reckoning is near.
The Winx are essentially designed to be a generic superhero team now, kept in stasis here, completely removed from their actual lives and loved ones. And while Rainbow figured them being presented as adults here would satisfy older fans, I would argue this is just a different variant of the same problem presented by seasons 5 and onward, just in a different direction. So, is World of Winx good? Is it worth watching? Or should we just ignore it completely and write it off as another symptom of this franchise struggling to stay relevant because it refuses to die? Also, why is Flora white?
This had to be the work of the talent thief.
Why is Aisha looking almost like she's Bloom? Why does Rainbow never learn and seemingly go out of its way to spite us and tank its own moneymaker? Before we begin, ciao. My name is Thomas, aka the Unicorn of War, and I make videos about the media that rots my brain. If that sounds interesting to you and you wind up enjoying this video today, then be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications because YouTube hates creators. Also, please consider, if you're willing and able, pledging your support for myself and the channel over on Patreon. Patrons get early access videos, Patreon exclusive videos, and access to the private Union of War Discord server. Now, without further ado, let the chaos commence. So to explain the premise of World of Winx, we have to establish the original's premise for contrast. And also for newbies here. Hi newbie, I'm really sorry you're being thrown into the deep end here. Ordinarily, Winx Club takes place in the magic dimension, another universe full of diverse magical worlds with a distinct fusion of fantasy and sci-fi. Every world has its own primary kind of magic, but most of the story takes place on the planet Magix, a cosmopolitan utopia that can best be described as fully automated luxury communism, sci-fi glitter edition. In World of Winx, however, the story takes place on Earth, with the magic dimension being completely omitted and not even mentioned. The closest analog to the magic dimension would be the world of dreams, Neverland. Yes, that Neverland, as in Peter Pan. The gist is that the Winx Club, back in Bloom's hometown of Gardenia, are posing as talent scouts for a reality show. Their goal is to find and protect talented people from the talent thief. So basically, World of Winx is an AU. It wouldn't work in the original canon. The Winx are famous here on Earth, and yet magic hasn't been returned to the Earth yet, and the Winx have to keep both magic and their being fairies a secret.
If people find out
That we are fairies, our cover will be blown. I know.
And yet, even though magic hasn't returned to the Earth, Roxy is here, the last Earth fairy, and is also the owner of the Fruity Music Bar from season 4 instead of Klaus, her dad.
And in honor of the show, we're introducing a new fruit smoothie called Rainbow Wow. Looks yummy.
So we know Roxy, she's already a fairy, but magic hasn't been returned. Okay. Also, Roxy is a fairy, but she never transforms, conveniently enough. All this on its own isn't really an issue. If this is a spin-off, then having it be siloed into its own continuity can help to make for interesting stories that don't have to be constrained by the original series canon. This does, however, make World of Winx less approachable for viewers not familiar with the franchise, since this show expects you to have seen plenty of the original show to know these characters and be invested in them in the first place. But there's a more deeply rooted problem afoot. The real issue here is that it's an example of Rainbow not understanding their audience. The main series had its characters grow up alongside the audience of older kids and teens, culminating in the Winx going from 16 in the first season to full-on new adults in season 4, having graduated from Althea. And then suddenly, season 5 traps them back at school at 16, with the writing shifting sharply to accommodate a younger demographic, even younger than the first season, complete with writers literally from the staffs of Backyardigans and Blue's Clues. The problem is that they tried to keep canon intact without any of its consequences. As a result, all of the cheap nostalgia bait to try and keep older existing fans only aggravated them and chased them away, while potential new fans wouldn't really care either way. They'd just see cute outfits and shiny sparkles to catch their attention, but not really form an emotional attachment to the characters the way that viewers of the first 3 seasons would have. To try and appease older fans, Rainbow tried creating World of Winx and later Fate the Winx Saga in order to provide a more mature, darker story, as they put it, than what fans were used to.
Have you ever waded through human poo?
But that's not really what fans wanted. They wanted to see the characters that they loved continue to age with them and face new problems that resonated with them, not weird, disconnected AUs and wannabe CW shows. Fate was way more of an edgy, try-hard spit in the eye, but World of Winx at least feels more on the money, having a similar tone to the first 3 seasons, and an actually competent storyline across its 2 seasons. Until the finale. The girls even have glimmers of their old personalities back, for the most part. The problem here is, because they've been trapped in an AU, we can't actually develop their individual personal lives after the events of Season 4 or even Season 3. It's the same problem as Season 5 through 8 of the main show, just in a different font. The Winx are trapped in this vaguely early 20s realm where they're these famous music stars, but beyond that, we don't get to see their individual lives and dreams.
We've been touring the world for years now.
And it doesn't help that by cutting them off from their usual social circles outside the club, it further prevents their stories from evolving beyond whatever external thread of the week the writers have cooked up. So now we just get these very surface level conflicts for the girls to deal with, and call that character development.
Life is stronger than anything else!
Flashback.
Voltage slap!
Flora! Are you okay?
I'm good.
Don't get me wrong, it is light years beyond whatever the hell seasons 5 through 8 and even season 4 had to offer, but it's still not what these characters need to truly evolve in a way that would keep fans happy long term.
Have you ever waded through human poo?
To help distinguish World of Winx from the main series, the show implements the fairy couture art style seen in the recent season's promotional artwork. The Winx's bodies were already quite stick-thin, but fairy couture amplifies that, making the girls look more akin to these long, spindly creatures whose proportions you would expect from the Sailor Moon manga. It's actually impressive how much more suited the fairy couture art style is to puppet animation compared to the original art style. And to me, it does still feel like Winx, unlike season 8.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
What surprises me most is that the girls still manage to look expressive.
If you had style, we could talk about it.
Oh, I've got style.
There is a glaring issue that kind of kills all this though. The whitewashing.
We're actually quite racist.
Fairy Couture features a more muted color palette compared to the main series, which has been used as a defense for the fact that Aisha now has Flora's old skin tone, arguably an even lighter one, while Flora just looks white now. But regardless of how strong or soft the color palettes are, the skin tones of your characters, especially ones representing marginalized groups, are far more important than the consistency of your show's palette. And considering the fact that this whitewashing has been happening to both of these girls and Musa since the 4th season, and they even tried to cast a white girl as Flora in Fate the Winx Saga and then cover their asses by calling her Terra, I would argue this is an intentional effort to try and whitewash the girls more and more over time. And given Eugenio's stances on certain other topics, and the rise in far-right fascist and racist ideologies across the world, including in Europe, this is absolutely not an accident. I fear white supremacy is in the room with us. It's especially odd because there are other characters like some of the pirates and the shaman and Tiger Lily who boast a range of skin tones from brown skin to darker skinned, but meanwhile Aisha and Flora can't look that dark. Que cosa? What? What do you mean? Now, I do want to cover the girls' personalities, but I think it would make more sense to do so while discussing the Nemesis subplot introduced in season 2. So for the time being, let's talk about the actual story here.
Particularly, sorry, can we start again?
So as we mentioned before, the Winx are trying to find and protect talented people on Earth from the so-called talent thief. To that end, they're posing as talent scouts for a reality show called WOW, hosted by the egotistical Ace.
I am Ace! Come join me as we follow the lives of our 6 fantastic talent scouts, the Winx!
Look, it's a bird. No, it's a man. No, it's
Ace!
Get it? WOW, because, World of Winx. We're so clever. We also have our own Winxmobile for travel.
Move, I need to drive.
Because, nothing screams discreet like a giant pink van with your fucking insignia on the side. Along with super spy outfits and high-tech smartwatches, scanners, and other gadgets when we're not transformed. I see we are taking some notes from Totally Spies. So right off the bat, why are we doing this reality show? You might initially think it's a way to get close to these talented people without alerting them to the threat against them, but surely we could just do that by posing as independent talent scouts. All the talent show does is risk exposing the Winx as fairies, especially with these invasive flying drones always telling them that they try to ditch almost every episode.
First, let's lose those flying paparazzi.
Evasive maneuvers coming up.
Follow them!
Without the drones.
This is a reality show, and you can't have it without the cameras!
I'm drawing the line here. We find Nadine, you stay here. Just head into town with the cameras and bring back the talent.
Perhaps the show gives them access to resources for their mission. But, no. Because the reality show is only here for the first season, and come season 2, the Winx still have their Winxmobile and their gadgets. They still have the big apartment, they're still able to travel internationally, I don't know where the hell these girls get these funds. And they get more freedom without Ace badgering them constantly.
With the WoW cameras on us, say goodbye to the monster hunt. This program about talented people making their dreams come true is creating more problems for us than anything else.
Nobody listens to genius.
The real reason that we have this is for arbitrary conflict. It's a way to artificially add tension and stakes to the first season, especially when Ace winds up firing Bloom about halfway through the first season.
What you are is fired! So totally fired!
Ace grows tired of Bloom's undisciplined attitude as star of the talent show, and so he fires her. Now that I'm not on WoW anymore, I'm more free to get around.
Admittedly, it is very funny when her replacement, Lorelai, reads Bloom for filth.
Oh, you're here too. Sorry, Bloom, but you're just not important.
Then proceeds to torment the rest of the Winx Club. But all the gimmicks about how the show works, finding talents, engaging how the audience likes them, it gets old really, really, really quick. We've also got a pair of detectives whose names I forget and I refuse to look up, who are investigating the missing talents and suspect the Winx because we need more conflict.
Well, Gomez?
Yeah, 2 of them were with Annabelle.
And the other ones?
Somewhere. Give me a second, darling.
Can I please have the spicy?
Don't call me darling.
Make it a large.
Sorry, closing time.
Ew! This also doesn't matter at all. There's this running gag that the guy detective's into the woman detective, and the woman is all, can you just focus on our job, man?
I can already imagine the wonderful ski trip we're gonna take together.
Stop it, Gomez.
Because I guess if a man and a woman hate each other, it must be true love or whatever. God, we're back in the fucking 90s. Back in the 90s, I was on a very famous TV show. God damn it.
What? Bloom, you just passed sensible gun legislation.
I can't believe this country hates women more than it loves guns.
No?
BoJack Horseman and Winx Club crossover when...
So totally fired!
Back in the 90s, I was in a very famous TV show.
Or better yet, Kingdom Hearts BoJack Horseman crossover. Oh my god, a BoJack Horseman world would be so fucking wild. Anyway. Anyhow, the detectives disappear after the first season and no one cares. The real plot here has to do with the talent thief. At first, the Winx are after this blue-haired scene kid they think is the thief, and eventually find themselves fighting the legendary Crocodile Man and a shaman known as the Shaman. Real creative there. Okay, I guess he has no name. And I think this is potentially offensive, though that also has roots in Peter Pan's depiction of Native American peoples. That's also quite yikesy, and also I'm not really sure if I'm qualified to talk about this one. For what the story is, it is actually kind of compelling. The Winx meet and befriend several talented people across the season, from the potential singer Annabelle, to the geeky hacker Naoki, and to the aspiring fashion designer Sophie. These relationships with the secondary characters are surprisingly wholesome, helped by them each bonding with the Winx who most correlates to their dream. Aside from Annabelle, since she's the first target, she's contractually obligated to be associated with Bloom more than Misa. Of fucking course. Eventually, we discovered that the talent thief isn't blue-haired scene kid, but actually the queen of the world of dreams, Tinkerbell.
So, Tinkerbell in Neverland is actually the...
Yes, that Tinkerbell. But now goth. They never confirm it, but it high-key gives that she was in love with Peter Pan, who decided to leave Neverland and go live on Earth.
To Tinkerbell, he could do no wrong. She loved him and believed he would be with her forever. And then one day, he left without a word and never came back. Soon, she became bitter, and all of her good and pure magic turned to dark magic.
No, we never see Peter Pan. For some reason, we just kind of accept he's gone now. No one knows where he is. No one even knows if he's still kicking, and we don't give a fuck. Okay. In her anger, Tinkerbell gave into darkness.
Darkness. Darkness is my enemy.
And so are you for reeking of that awful smell.
Sending evil shadows across Neverland to conquer it and torment its residents. And now she has decided to steal the dreams of all the people on the earth to make up for the dream taken from her.
Their talents are payment for the dream that was taken from me.
What was your dream? Listen! Stop talking!
She's gonna make her problem everyone else's problem. You go, girl. Girl, boss it up. At least I would say that if we were still in the 2010s. If we're gonna have a bunch of references to the Peter Pan story, I think this works well enough. You know, we've already ditched the magical universe, so we might as well commit to the references to IRL fairy tales and fantasy stories. And an evil Tinkerbell kinda eats, dare I say. I always enjoy it when the Winx get pitted against fellow fairies, as it helps to break the whole idea of fairies having to be automatically good guys. So the aforementioned Crocodile Man and Shaman, along with the pirates who once worked for Captain Hook, now work for Tinkerbell and have been kidnapping the talents on her behalf. The blue-haired scene kid is actually Captain Hook, who was banished to Earth by Tinkerbell and has somehow de-aged as a result. He looks like he went through the Tumblr twinkification process.
Queen was ruthless. But we can thank Tinkerbell for one thing. She did make me younger and healthier.
Still not sure why that happened, nor whether he always had the blue hair, but okay. Now he just goes by Jim, cause, you know, Jim, short for James, as in James Hook. You know, even though Jim is one of the most basic ass, unfitting names I could have picked for a major character. Oh my god. Like there's one bit where Bloom is like, I'm going to Switzerland with Jim.
I'm going to Switzerland with Jim.
And I'm like, out of context, that is an incredibly hilarious line because of the name Jim. In context, it is still equally hilarious.
With Jim.
The finale of the first season kind of slaps though. Bloom and Jim, wild pair,
Jim,
have to team up to find the inventor of this pocket watch that can be used to access the world of dreams.
What an interesting artifact.
In the process, they are both kidnapped by the pirates and brought to Tinkerbell, who plans on stealing Bloom's fairy magic for herself. No one says it's the Dragon Flame because we can't have references to the OG lore, but you know, she's like, the Dragon Flame will be mine! And the Tricks are like, bitch, get in line. So you wind up with this rescue mission where all the other Winx have to rush in to try and help. You know, I just really enjoy when the rest of the Winx get to be the ones to save the day, even though Bloom breaks free to save the day, whatever. I mean, they at least find creative ways to fight, like Musa fucks with the Crocodile Man by using the bounce back of his roar against him. That slaps.
The stronger the roar of your enemy, the stronger the weapon you can use against him.
We don't defeat Tinkerbell yet, though. This season instead ends with this battle and the finale of the reality show, where all of the talents we have met and rescued get to show off their abilities for the world to see. Meanwhile, Jim apparently decides to look all evil on his throne within the big tree of dreams or whatever, as he plots to take over the world of dreams.
Are you with me?
Aye, Captain Hook.
Neverland will be mine.
Okay then.
Sure, Jim.
So season 1 is fine. All the reality show and investigator stuff feels pointless and at times frustrating, but also does offer a few fun moments for the girls to be fed up with life. And I do genuinely enjoy the Winx meeting these people and forming relationships with them. And also the excuse to travel the world and visit places like Paris and New York is really fun, I must admit. Especially when they're chasing like Naoki trying to save him from the Crocodile Man down the streets of Manhattan and it's a whole fucking mess. I kind of live for it. And the actual Neverland plot, you know, the mystery of who's behind the kidnapped talents, why this pocket watch is so important, why a Crocodile Man had a pocket watch, all of it is engaging enough to make these 13 episodes worth following. Season 2, I would say, is for the most part an improvement over season 1. I would say season 1 was more fun, but season 2 is the stronger season, at least until the last 3 episodes. Good lord. Season 2 benefits from gutting the aforementioned pointless subplots, now focused primarily on saving the world of dreams. Oh, if you're wondering if I'm gonna talk transformations, they get their own section, because, you know, it's Winx Club. They kind of have to be their own section, so just roll with it. So this time, the Winx have to find Peter Pan's son, as there's some big prophecy about him saving Neverland. The prophecy is also pointless, but the real reason we are doing all this is that they hope he'll be able to redeem Tinkerbell. Okay, sure, why not? And as we do this, we are also trying to rally the people of Neverland against the now weakened Tinkerbell. This season focuses a lot more on the people of Neverland, and I enjoy it for the most part. We befriend the Crocodile Man by saving his imprisoned brother, the Alligator Man. You just go with it. We get the pirates to work together as a team to re-earn their zombie powers, Zombie-Ix. We meet a bunch of mermaids running away from the queen who are hiding away in Paris, and we tell them to go back to their war-torn land.
The queen turned the mermaids' lagoon into the dark and hostile place you see. 3 mermaids have escaped. They found shelter in the city where you are now. The earth can't house them.
Can't you see you're getting into trouble? This is not your world!
Which is really uncomfortable given what's happening in the US right now. Oh god. And we get Tiger Lily to train Peter Pan's annoying, talentless, no good, horrible son. I really don't like his son.
But I can't train you. Nobody can. Matt will become a hero only if you find a magic object.
The Winx also have a bit more going on in terms of personal arcs, thanks to Tinkerbell creating Nemeses for each of them.
The shadow is back, my queen. It stole some of Bloom's essence.
May the light become shadow. May the Nemesis come to light.
She uses little shadows to manifest their flaws and insecurities, and then pits each Winx against her own Nemesis. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's leagues beyond anything that the girls have gotten since season 4, Jesus Christ. You know, even if they wind up mischaracterizing and flanderizing some of them to do so. Ugh. Rambo gotta fuck it up somehow. The Nemeses will get their own section later, so for now, let's talk about Matt.
We're not even close to ready. That star isn't bright enough.
My nemesis. Matt Berry is the son of Peter Pan. I don't know if he's Wendy's son. They never say, like Wendy never goes, oh, my son Matt. She knows who Matt is and she's seen him before, but like she never refers to him as son and he never calls her mom.
I barely recognize you. Tell me, how does it feel to be the driver of the greatest pop stars on the planet?
Actually, I am their manager.
Manager? And like she didn't even really know a lot about him, but also no one knows who the hell the mama is. Like no one even asks. You know, it's the same way that no one asks where Peter Pan is. Like, okay.
He didn't want to keep in touch with me. We were very close, but I guess he had his reasons.
Anyway, Matt is a diva. He is Delulu, and he is insufferable.
What's that?
A rose?
I'm trying to evoke a brand new vision of love, and you come here with a rose!
The running gag is that he has a million scathingly brilliant ideas, but has absolutely no plans to realize any of them. You know, aside from his gargantuan ego that drives everyone around him insane. Me included. His arc is to get his shit together to be the hero that Neverland needs him to be. Which is, okay, sure.
The whole world of dreams is in danger.
And I'm the only one who can save it.
Personally, I don't mind him, and I do enjoy the Winx bullying him from time to time.
You're the Winx.
I adore fans.
Yeah, but on TV you look better.
How dare you! I'll...
You know, in a way, his friendship with them is kind of endearing. In a I survived this, so I guess I care kind of way. I am kind of confused why the writers didn't decide to have Peter have a daughter instead of a son, you know, because we could keep this show girl-centric. But, you know, then again, with what Eugenio said about media now being too weighted towards girls and what the girls and the femmes want and the ill woke and all that, and the introduction of Damien in the reboot, what the fuck do I know? Plus, if Matt were a girl, then we couldn't have this forced romance plot with Tinkerbell, because, you know, we can't have gays in our show about fairies. We can't have gays in our Italian fairy show about high fashion. Okay, sure, Jan. The romance here is so bad. Oh, Jesus. Basically, Matt has always seen this image of a girl in the stars and has decided that he is in love with her and she is his soulmate, which is totally normal.
Second star to the right. Can you see anything, Bloom?
I see a girl.
I've been coming here for a long time to admire her.
Who is she?
I don't know, but I feel like I've known her forever.
I've been in love with her since the first moment I saw her.
And it turns out this face is Tinkerbell's face. And they briefly meet halfway through season 2, where they get to fall for each other and be all flustered and 90s Disney meet cute, but also weirdly reminiscent of Aurora and Philip's meeting in Sleeping Beauty in the forest.
You can't see it now, but when I searched the universe, it was your face that I saw.
You seem familiar to me too, as if I've known you before. As if you've been in my dreams.
That's so sweet! I'm getting diabetes! Giant crystal of death!
Tinkerbell has a relatable moment of, wait, but if I'm in love, I'll be weak and vulnerable. I must kill everyone.
No, this is not good. I am the queen. I can't let my weakness prevail.
It's too cliche, I won't say I'm in love.
And then we forget about the romance until the fucking finale. In the finale, while the Winx decide to fuck off and play a pointless concert in New York, fuck saving the world I guess, Jim and Matt lead the people of Neverland in a battle against Tinkerbell. When Tinkerbell faces them and sees Matt leading the charge, she immediately gives up her crown and her magic and pleads for forgiveness.
You think you have won, but I will destroy you. You and the hero of the world of dreams. You!
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
I am no longer the queen. I'm Tinkerbell.
What?
The fuck? It really just adds further confusion as to why Tinkerbell did all this in the first place and how much she was actually dedicated to whatever the fuck her plan was, if she was willing to just give it all up so quickly. And then when Jim reminds us what an evil tyrant she was, the Winx show up finally and decide to give us season 4 war flashbacks by going, "No, revenge is bad. Forgive Tinkerbell, Jim."
Tinkerbell has the right to be given another chance.
Did she give any second chances when she kidnapped the WoW talents in order to block dreams from coming true?
She's got a point.
Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, sure, Jim is also evil and he's just trying to become the new tyrant, but he is also kind of right that Tinkerbell did some fuck shit and ruined all of our lives. She's kind of a warlord.
Did she give any second chances to this island and its inhabitants when her shadows spread terror all over?
Oh, Matt, don't listen to him.
My conclusion is you both suck and we should kill both of you.
Death to all of them.
A lot of this finale is just Tinkerbell going, "Oh, I feel so bad for what I did. Matt, you have to believe me that I feel bad about all the lives I've ruined." And I'm like, shut up. Shut up.
She's been far too cruel. Cruel.
No. No.
Wicked. Stop it.
Girl, you did terrible shit. Own it.
I'm malicious, and I own it. I'll never apologize. I am sleeping with my best friend's husband, and I own it.
And Matt is like, "I can't believe you're the girl that I fell in love with when you're so terrible." Just kidding, I'm a great actor. I'm gonna save you, boo. And I'm like, I hope you won't drown. So Tinkerbell thinks at one point that Jim has killed Matt. I wish. And her tears redeem her or whatever, and she just gets a downgraded design.
I have my magic back. I'm a fairy again.
She's in white now and she's a blonde, so she's good now.
Tinkerbell, it's really you. Now I recognize you.
We are sorry, our queen, but we just recognized you now.
You know, I guess Goth really is evil. Yikes. I'm just saying, Goth Tinkerbell is best Tinkerbell. So now, because Tinkerbell is dressed in white and no longer goth and blonde, everyone decides to forgive her, and she deserves our forgiveness and our love and support. What the actual fuck is wrong with this show? So then Jim turns the big tree at the center of Neverland into a flying pirate ship, and he tries to fly it into the world of nightmares to turn everything into nightmares.
Get ready for a new era, made of darkness and fear. See you in your worst nightmares, Winx.
Sure, okay, whatever. Why is he why? Is it just because he's evil, so he does evil things? Like, oh, for fuck's sake. I don't know what the fuck happened in the writing room in these last 3 episodes. Someone must have brought in the stash of cocaine we had from the 5th through 8th seasons of the main show. Because what the fuck? We were doing so decently up until this point. Anyway, of course we stop Jim. Jim is sent to Nightmare Land or Hell or whatever. I don't care.
I'm going
to the world of nightmares.
With Jim.
And Neverland is restored to its former glory, with Matt deciding to live here with Tinkerbell forever. Who cares? You know, I'm just gonna lay it all out here. The journey was far superior to the destination, because it all just kind of falls apart with how ridiculous the writing around Tinkerbell and Jim are. Like, we just have to immediately forgive Tinkerbell while also reckoning with her suddenly becoming super remorseful after she's been a dictator for like 20 years minimum, while also mentally tormenting the Winx and kidnapping children. And then we just forgive her because she changed her outfit. Like, ¿qué cosa? Like, she didn't do anything. She just changed her outfit. She just decothed herself. She went through decuntification. Meanwhile, Jim is just evil because, you know, Captain Hook. Okay, sure. What the fuck does he want? What does anyone want? And then Matt gets a romance arguably far worse and more boring and stale than any of the Winx's romance with the specialists in the main show, which is kind of an impressive feat when you think about it. Wow, this really turned into quite the shit show. And while all this has been going on, there's also been this venomous music critic back on Earth named Venomia.
Even if you set up a band as talent scouts, that doesn't make you talented musicians.
She's got a point.
The audience applause isn't the same as a critic's evaluation. You'll be hearing from me again. Venomia.
Get it? Cause Venom, Venomia. Okay, but like her design slaps. Oh my god, I love her hat. So Venomia has been relentlessly following the Winx to try and trash their reputation. Slay. She's even been sabotaging their shows, causing fires and whatnot. Ugh, I love an arsonist. In the finale, Venomia reveals the Winx's magic to the people of Earth on live TV, and we discover it is because she's actually a witch.
Shiver Bloom. I am Baba Yaga, the Dark Dame.
Yep, that's right. Season 2 ends on a cliffhanger for a Season 3 that never fucking came, teasing us with a potential story of fairies versus witches.
Soon I will conjure my coven, and then it will be the end of the Winx. There is not enough room for fairies and witches on Earth.
Though given the franchise's treatment of witches, maybe us never getting Season 3 was a blessing in disguise. Also, she's Baba Yaga, you know, from like Russian and Slavic folklore, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I guess then Seasons 1 and 2 are like the Peter Pan arc, and then this would be like a witch arc. I don't know if this would be all Russian folklore, because like she mentioned summoning her coven, so maybe it would be like cool witches from like global folklore. I don't know. Don't ask for a rewrite. It's not happening. Anyway, I know I shot on the Season 2 finale a lot because it kind of was dog shit, but genuinely for the first 10 episodes, it was a lot of fun. It's probably the most invested I've been in a season of Winx since the first 3 seasons, which is so depressing when I say it out loud. World of Winx is the closest the Winx have ever felt since the 4th season to being back to their old personalities.
Speaking of toast, here's to a show that jams. You know, jams. Like music improvisation and,
It's far from perfect, especially for certain characters, but it feels nice to actually be able to distinguish the girls' personalities from each other beyond their basic archetypes. And the banter is legendary.
She's a great artist.
Nice dog. It's a horse. And I can do so many other things. Acting, singing, dancing, disappearing too. We'll find him. Bye-bye. Ugh, how annoying.
At times, it feels like their interactions are more quippy than they've ever been, which, me personally, I appreciate. Bloom is still suffering from Rainbow's need to have her be a role model rather than an actual character, sadly. And Haven Pascal's Girl Next Door performance is certainly not helping. There are glimmers of her classic sassiness, but nothing compared to her old self.
That's why we need our friends. Real friends.
And nothing that's actually integrated into the story as an arc for her. Bloom's nemesis, Vertigo, is a grade A weirdo.
May the Nemesis come to light. Vertigo!
White face paint with some red around the eyes, hair up in weird ass obnoxious hairpins, and a kimono style dress? ? Complete with those ugly cosmics thingies. You know, the glowy nets around the skirts. It's giving those old cages used to hold up old-timey gowns, you know, like the crinolines or whatever they're called. You know that, but like on the outside for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why we went for this kind of look. I mean, she does look like a deranged version of Bloom trying to cosplay 17 different obscure things at once, which I suppose works with the whole gimmick she has of, you know, psychological warfare.
Give me your hand!
Nah?
Posing as other people to mess with Bloom's psyche, especially since nobody else can see her, and sometimes even making the other Winx look like herself to make Bloom attack them.
Why are you running? There's no reason to run. Why are you attacking me?
And why do you keep on harassing me?
It is cool and all, but it also doesn't really speak to any actual fears or flaws that Bloom has to deal with. In the original show, Bloom's major flaws were imposter syndrome, her insecurity about her magical abilities and sense of self, trust issues, and impulsivity. Vertigo doesn't really cater to any of these things. You know, maybe trust issues if you squint hard enough, but like not in a meaningful, substantial way. And Bloom doesn't have to overcome any hypothetical flaws either to defeat Vertigo. The other Winx just managed to remind Bloom that they're her friends, and that somehow breaks through Vertigo's illusions.
Don't trust what you see. Trust what your heart feels. That's us, your friends.
There is a cool bit where Bloom has to accept Vertigo as part of herself, which would hit more if she actually was Bloom's shadow side.
You're part of me. And so, I must accept you.
You can't accept your nemesis. You can't. You can't.
12 seconds later.
Honestly, she and Aisha should have swapped Nemeses, but more on Aisha later. We're going in official order, fam. Stella arguably gets the best Nemesis and the best arc out of the whole club, which is wild considering Obscura's voice is fucking ridiculous.
How can this be happening?
Firstly, Stella's back to her old, goofy self. She's the comic relief, but without all the idiocy that seasons 5 and onward defamed her with.
You can simply come back tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
You can simply come back tomorrow. Thank you. Bye. Ugh.
This Stella is genuinely a talented fashion icon and incredibly self-aware, using her energy to uplift others while also making light of dire situations.
First day at school. Don't worry. You'll like it. And you look great.
Thank you.
But that also comes with a lot of insecurity. We get some flashbacks showing Stella was bullied in her youth, which is a bit odd since these flashbacks give the impression she grew up on Earth rather than, I don't know, Solaria.
I just want to have lunch together.
Are you an idiot? For sure. We don't want to hang around with a loser like you.
But then again, we canonically know from season 2 that Stella was an ugly duckling when she was younger, so I guess it does still feel true to her character. The important part is that this scar remains with her, as we see when the mermaids manage to get under Stella's skin and break her down a bit. Obscura preys on this by making Stella hear what she fears everyone really thinks about her, that she's vain, superficial, and unlovable.
You are so superficial.
You think you help others, but you're only doing it for yourself.
If you're so smart, why don't you do this on your own?
Stella is the kind of person that desperately wants to be loved and adored, and so she puts in the extra effort to make others happy in the hopes that affection will be returned. So yeah, this genuinely slaps. Especially when Stella pulls the "My friends are my power" card, very timely considering my recent Kingdom Hearts relapse.
I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
Flora's, by stark contrast, is not about her character at all. Shocker, I know. Flora's always gotten the short end of the stick in terms of her character writing. We barely know anything about her as a person or about her family and personal life, and so there's just not much to do with her beyond the idea of her being shy.
She's
is shy.
Lies, lies, and more lies.
Which she is not, for the record. She is not shy. She is not Fluttershy. Please stop writing and treating her like she's Fluttershy.
I'm gonna use the power of flowers to thwart the witch's evil spell.
So, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? In case you haven't noticed, your room has become a humongous chemistry lab.
Bloom gave me permission.
Flora's nemesis, Stony. Really? Stony? We couldn't have gone with like Petra or something? Anyway, she petrifies everything around her. The vibe is supposed to be life versus death. Flora gets her power from nature and by extension life, whereas Stony brings death and decay.
Okay, Flora. You used nature to destroy my creatures. Now it's time for the tables to turn. Everything that is not alive, unite! Take the essence of nature and become her nemesis.
He's killing everything here.
Cool, I guess, but again, it doesn't really speak to Flora's actual character. Sure, Flora's moment of breaking free by asserting the indomitability of life is cool, but like, is that it?
Life is stronger than anything else.
Maybe if Flora was depressed or dealing with utter despair, this would work a bit more, but again, we don't know anything about Flora besides her liking plants. There are points where she's literally holding a random potted plant in her hands while the girls hang out. Just to remind you, she likes plants. Like, wow, Flora stans stay losing. At least Flora has good company though. Musa usually fares a bit better in the character department, what with the whole dead mom and bad taste in men. But since World of Winx isolates the girls from their actual lives, Musa now shares Flora's problem in being nothing more than her powers and her surface level interests. Musa's nemesis, Banshee, is not all about silence, actually. Instead, she is about discord. As in discordant melodies and sounds, as opposed to the harmonious melodies that Musa uses, allegedly.
Of course, a harmonious melody.
Okay, I guess that could work, but again, there's no real arc here from Musa as a character. It's just Musa using harmony to win the day. Sure, okay. At the very least, Musa using the bells of Notre Dame to defeat Banshee is kind of iconic. Tekna does a bit better than those last two losers, since she gets rightfully clocked for her control issues and obsessive tendencies.
That's where it goes. Tekna is an order fiend and a control freak.
They're not portrayed as actual flaws integrated into the story, but they're there, at least. And they're mostly accurate to Tekna's actual character. We are missing the bit where Tekna is low-key ruled by her emotions that she refuses to claim, but nothing is perfect, I suppose. I'm just saying Aisha is not the aggressive one. Bloom and especially Tekna are. Tekna's nemesis, though, slaps.
My name is Virus, and I'm here to bring you chaos you can't control.
Virus has a really cool design, being the robot that everybody jokes Tekna is. With wheel feet? You know, these should be goofy as hell, but they actually make Virus super agile and hard to keep up with. And not only can Virus mess with the technology that Tekna relies on, but she can also hack into the other Winx to turn them against Tekna. I am a sucker for the being forced to fight your friends trope. Tekna wins the day by letting go of logic and following her instincts, as that is when Virus is no longer able to predict Tekna, which also feels true to Tekna's character.
You predicted every logical move I made, but when I stopped using logic, you lost all your power over me.
And she also gets to do so with a cool fantasy sword. Yay! Go Tekna, I guess. You have the second best nemesis. Tekna stands, enjoy your victory lap, rah rah and all that. And now for our biggest loser, Aisha.
Of course.
You know, I just gotta say, as an Aisha stan, it pains me the way that the show, and honestly, even I myself, have lost sight of Aisha's character over the years. When introduced back in season 2, Aisha was a very shy, introverted girl, afraid of making new friends in fear of losing them, and terrified of the dark, which was low-key a metaphorical extension of her loneliness. She did enjoy dance and outdoor activities, but she wasn't the traditional sporty girl either. But now, Aisha is the aggressive member of the club, always being fed up with other characters, making mean, petty jabs.
Crash the club and flush him out. Aisha, we need a plan if we're going to catch him here.
We've got you. We spent all this time chasing a cat? Tekna and her gadgets. Playing on your tablet isn't gonna solve the problem.
She said thin, Aisha.
Yeah, but sometime today, Musa.
And is the star athlete of every sport under the sun.
Tekna tries to steal the ball, but Aisha is too fast. She fakes left, spins right, and ties her in a knot. Booyah!
Basically, they took the most unique, best-written character in the club and went out of their way to give her all the black girl stereotypes. Out of all the girls, she is by far and away the most misunderstood and mischaracterized here, to the point that it actively detracts from her role in the story. And her nemesis, Cinca, is the perfect representation of this. Cinca feeds off of Aisha's aggressiveness.
Aisha. She's impulsive, hasty, and impatient. It was easy luring you out here. Always so hot-tempered. Right?
And her alleged inability to think before she acts. Every time Aisha attacks her, the rings on Cinca's arms glow more, increasing her power. And so Aisha instead has to just not attack her, which in turn somehow kills Cinca.
It's your wristbands, right? They feed on my energy. But if I don't attack you...
Stop! Stop it now!
I don't feel like playing anymore.
On paper, this is fine, I guess, but not for Aisha. She already had clear insecurities and flaws that could have worked. Obscura's dark affinity, for instance, does work in contrast with Stella's light magic, but also would have been really perfect for Aisha's fear of the dark. But the real better fit would have been Vertigo. For one, Cinca's whole attack me and I get stronger gimmick would have been way better against Bloom's genuine impulsivity, aggression, and fiery temper. For another, Aisha has struggled before being the new girl who feels like she's intruding on the existing Winx Club.
And the 5 of us will cast one big mega spell all together. Hey, what's wrong? The 5 of us? What about Layla? You hurt her feelings. I forgot. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Who has never really had friends before and lost the one she had in her youth before she moved away. Why not use Vertigo's ability to mess with her victims' heads to do that with Aisha and make her believe that all of her friends view her as an outsider who's not really one of them, that they all secretly hate her and she indeed is all alone. All that being said, I would like to keep Aisha bullying Lorelai. That shit is genuinely funny.
Can I drive?
No.
Can I turn on the radio?
No.
Now, as for the transformations, we have 2, because of course we do. You know, gotta maximize those doll sales after all. What else is gonna keep Rainbow from going bankrupt? The Winx go into the show without an actual form, with the only ones that we see being the 2 introduced here in World of Winx. For the first season, we have Dreamix. The girls technically earn this form before they actually use it later on, but the idea is that Dreamix is connected to the girls helping other people make their dreams come true.
It happened as soon as Annabelle's dream came true.
Dreamix doesn't really have any actual specialized powers like a lot of the other forms in the original series. You know, it's basically just default fairy form. The closest to a unique power that it has is the Winx's plot sense, where they see visions of people about to achieve their dreams, which allow them to find these people before the talent thief does. We'll talk about the spells or lack thereof later, so for right now, let's just focus on the designs. The Dreamix designs, like most of the new forms from seasons 5 through 8, are incredibly uniform. Each girl is in a differently colored bodysuit, with some draping translucent fabric and weird chains over top their torsos and arms, and slightly different wings. There's not much to really talk about since they don't express much about each girl's unique power or personality, but for what it's worth, the Dreamix designs are good. Not great, but they work well enough and are genuinely pretty without being over-designed. The colors are also fine. Bloom is in a darker shade of blue than usual, which I appreciate. She rocks all kinds of blue, but especially the dark blues. The purple accents are fine, I guess. but they just make me miss her yellow accents so much more. Flora is in her usual pink and green, she looks fine. Stella is in her usual orange, this time with red accents instead of blue, which I think actually looks pretty good on her. Musa is once again not in a true red, but rather a red-pink. Ugh. I mean, she looks fine, I guess, and I do like these blue accents on her at least. I hate her bangs though. Oh god, these bangs.
I literally thought he was gonna say cut each other's bangs to look like shit.
Tekna and Aisha are where it gets kind of weird though. Aisha usually has this issue of overlapping with Bloom's colors since half of her forms are green and the other half are blue. She looks great in both, but like, why do you have it so that these girls are sharing colors half the time? Aisha's Dreamix is more of a dark blue-green, and it just feels odd when Bloom is already in a dark blue. Tekna, meanwhile, is not in her usual purple, but instead lime green. I mean, don't get me wrong, she looks great in it, but like, why? Why not let Aisha have green? Especially since the next form, Onyrix, is the one that is supposed to shake up the girls' usual palettes. Why not wait till then to put Tekna in green? The Dreamix song genuinely slaps. I would argue it is the best transformation song after season 5. It doesn't quite live up to the classic transformation songs, but I love the chorus and that dreamy production at the start. It just, ooh, it sounds so good. It actually gets me hyped for them to transform, which is a rarity in modern Winx Club. The Dreamix sequences are odd, though. You don't see much of the girls actually transforming. Rather, they just kind of pose as parts of their outfit appear onto them passively. The weird abstract mirror background looks cool, and I do genuinely like these glowing flowers that the girls emerge from. But it's still not much to write home about, especially when it ends with all the girls in these same basic ass stock poses. That just looks goofy as hell. Onyrix replaces Dreamix as an evolved form in season 2, and it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Our Dreamix power has evolved.
Without dreams, fantasy wouldn't exist, and so neither would fairies.
And your new Onyrix power proves it.
For one, it's just kind of handed to them by the spirit of the world of dreams. There's no earning it this time around, which feels very underwhelming. Unlike Dreamix, the Winx can use Onyrix to enter the world of dreams directly. However, this also means that unlike Dreamix, the Winx can only use Onyrix in Neverland and can't use it on Earth, which feels like a downgrade, honestly. The vibe that I get personally is that each form refers to a different kind of dream. Dreamix revolves around the concept of dreams as aspirations, as in people's dreams to achieve certain accomplishments or certain careers. Onyrix, meanwhile, is about the kind of dreams that you experience while asleep. And fun fact, Onyrix comes from the Greek word oneros, I hope I'm saying that right, which means dream. Kinda similar to how Sophix comes from Sophia, which means knowledge. The Onyrix designs have a bit more going for them. They're sadly still quite uniform, being these old school jumpsuits with long drapey sleeves and pant legs. You know, I love me some bell bottoms, with some flowers strewn throughout the designs. Onyrix does get points though for trying to experiment with the girls' usual colors. I ordinarily don't enjoy Bloom being shoved into pink, but I must admit this plum color they chose for her Onyrix suits her very well. Maybe because it veers more towards a dusty purple rather than straight up pink. And I actually really like this braid on her, it's very cute. Stella in blue? Fuck yeah! Not only does she look amazing in this shade of blue, but it also kind of alludes to her criminally neglected lunar side. Like seriously, I cannot get over how good Stella looks in this blue! Flora is in this gorgeous deep forest green, which looks so good on her. I usually appreciate the Winx not wearing the colors traditionally associated with their powers, but this shade of green is a really nice change of pace for her. It feels very classy and elegant, and much darker than what Flora usually wears.
I'd wear this. Pure classic elegance. It's perfect for a funeral, yes.
Musa is at last in red, thank the gods. It's not exactly a change for her, except for the fact that, you know, her red hasn't been diluted by pink once again. Seriously, this looks amazing on her, and I adore her Onyrix hair. She looks like an actual dream goddess come to dispel your nightmares. Tekna is, again, in lime green. You know, it looks good on her, but, you know, probably would have hit more if she hadn't just worn this in her Dreamix form. I'm not sure on her side braid though. It is nice to see them try and give her a new hairstyle, which is kind of difficult to do with short hair, but I'm not really sure if this specifically works for Tecna. Aisha though? Oh my god. I never would have thought to put her in the shade of purple. It is a very soft yet strong shade that makes me think of the deep sea, especially the colors of Andros seas in season 5, and Aisha looks fucking stunning in it. Her hair texture isn't nearly as voluminous and strong as it is in the original series, sadly, but the hairstyle does at least look cute. The Onyrix song is fine. You know, it's not bad, it's just not great either. The melody is incredibly forgettable, and there's nothing about the production that stands out like the Dreamix song. And the sequences are also very forgettable. It's mostly just the Winx posing and flailing their arms inside glowing triangles. I guess the Winx are Illuminati confirmed? Honestly, slay. Unlike the original series, the Winx's individual powers are all real-time, non-verbal spells, which is so nice since most of the OG's show spells boil down to the same generic energy beams, bolts, and barriers. It is really cool seeing the Winx freely use their elements as they see fit in fights, even when they're not transformed. That said, most of the fights tend to suffer from really jarring, disorienting cuts to try and make it seem like there's more happening than there actually is. Especially weird when the shaman, you know, throws out a stone and then they reverse that same shot to show him calling the stone back, but it just looks really bad. Bloom has her usual fireballs, though she does occasionally get cool heat rings. You know, there's not really much you can do with fire, sadly, especially when she refuses to summon the Great Dragon. The coolest moments she gets are usually when she superheats objects, like when she heats up the roof of the Winx mobile to get the Crocodile Man off of it.
We have to get him out of here!
Or when she makes Jim drop Peter Pan's sword.
Tinkerbell, I sentence you to war!
Stop! Jim!
You know, you say these sentences and you just go, what is my life? Stella's powers are themed more generally on light than the sun or the moon specifically. She actually comes in real handy against Tinkerbell's shadow monsters, whether that's her light blasts or using nearby light fixtures to blind people.
Light? Did someone call my name? Let's amp up our game and see how they like it!
Already cool, but what's even cooler is her being able to redirect lasers.
Stella, this is your moment!
Legit, when the Winx are trapped in a high-security vault, Stella is just able to bend these lasers to destroy their sources. Holy shit. And with her Onyrix powers, Stella is able to see the past through visions of light.
I've got it! He went to the fashion school! I saw it in a flash of light!
You know, I'm not sure how that works, but cool. Flora can technically already do this through what nearby plants have seen, but I do feel this is unique enough to warrant becoming an actual power. Flora mostly just sticks with her usual vines. Sadly, while she had the most versatile spells in the original series that went unrecognized and unappreciated, she actually does live up to the charge of being nothing more than green luxuriant ivy here in World of Winx. She can at least communicate with plants in order to find out what they've seen and heard.
Those flowers' petals are closed tight, as if they're protecting themselves. Anxiety. Fear. I know where he's hiding.
And even call on their power to defeat Tinkerbell's shadows. Most interestingly, Flora is able to teleport through the planet's root system.
We need to find this person. Can you put out an all-plant alert? Every plant on Earth will look for Matt.
Okay.
Once they find him, I'll travel through the Earth's root system to get to where he is. Thank you, trees and plants, for your help.
Fuck Zoomix wings, fuck our weird teleport bubbles, and fuck Stella's ring and Techna's portal device. Just have Flora ask to send you through some trees to the other side of the world. It only gets used once, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it, quite honestly. It feels far too easy and flat out ludicrous, but I suppose it's at least something unique to her, so you go, Queen. I mean, Lord knows the writers won't give you anything else. Musa's got her infamous sound waves, but at least they're not obnoxiously named here, and she does get to chuck them sometimes as sonic discs, which I think is neat. But Musa does get some other cool abilities for once, like being able to create the sound of footsteps to lure the crocodile man into a trap, or to find Matt through his voice in Paris.
How do you know my name?
Intercepted.
And again, the bells of Notre Dame. The coolest use, though, is in the Season 1 finale. The Crocodile Man is immune to direct magic, just like everything else in this goddamn franchise. But Musa is able to trap him within a sound barrier that turns the decibel force of his roar against him, knocking him out cold.
The stronger the roar of your enemy, the stronger the weapon you can use against him.
Now that is an ingenious use of power over sound. Techna got robbed though, like she got robbed real bad. She has basically been downgraded to Shield Maiden, only able to create hard light shields for herself, for others, and for caging enemies. She does at one point destroy a shadow monster with one of her shields, but
I've had enough of you.
You know, I just don't get it. What the fuck was wrong with her usual laser blasts or electricity powers? She does at least kind of make up for it with all of her abilities to manipulate technology, you know, like the vault or the traffic light.
I'm gonna stop them.
I'll use my logical vision to check if this room is hiding any secrets from us. All of the objects in this room are perfectly clean, except the mirror. There's tons of dust on it.
You go, Tech. You try. Aisha sticks with purely hydrokinesis in the first season. You know, the ability to manipulate water, drowning enemies, punching them in the face with water. As the Fairy of Waves, water is in the list of what she could use, but I never like when it's all she can do, as it doesn't exactly help her stand out against literally all of the other water girlies in media. But in Season 2, they remembered that she is able to manipulate all fluids. Her Morphix makes a brief return in the Season 2 premiere, and later on, she is able to manipulate the slime along the walls of the Alligator Man's prison.
We're getting out of this mud!
Aisha is using her power to control fluids.
And the paralyzing foam in the vault.
I'll fix it. My ability to control fluids is good for this stuff too.
All without losing her water powers either. We love a girl with range. Oh, and she can also make it rain on command.
I'll fix this.
I kind of wish this one was a convergence spell with Stella, especially since, you know, it comes after the moment where the mermaids bully Stella. It could be a really cute moment for Aisha to help Stella remember her own power in a moment of pain and reinforce the strength of their unlikely friendship. I'm just saying. Also, I still find it really annoying that they have Stella talk about mermaids like she's the expert when Aisha is literally from a planet full of mermaids and her cousin and aunt are mermaids. I mean, I get it. We've orphaned canon and this is to set up Stella's arc of her insecurity, but like, come on, man. Despite its flaws, I am glad that World of Winx exists. It's not at all what the franchise needed to stay afloat or even recapture its lost audience, and was more a symptom of its death spiral than anything else. Even so, It is genuinely still the best installment of the franchise outside of the first 3 seasons, which to me feels kind of depressing, I'm not gonna lie. The future of Winx Club with this god-awful AI slop reboot looks quite bleak, like everything else in the 2020s. But at the very least, there are still ways for us to enjoy our 6 favorite fairies saving the universe and looking fabulous while doing so. We just have to accept that Rainbow will always find some way to fucking ruin the experience for us. You know, what else is new? Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this from me, yada yada, subscribe, ring bell for notifications, YouTube aids creators, you know the drill. And again, if you can, pledging your support to help myself and the channel over on Patreon. I'm the Unicorn of War, and dear God, this franchise is such a fucking shit show.